Naomi drops her title for great reasons, and Sami Zayn switches brands for reasons? It's all next. Naomi's title vacation following my literal vacation already has me on the floor, so the ref is about to start the 10 count. Topic number 1, throw caution to Big Jim, as you just always hold your breath and hope when there's an announcement like this that it's going to be good news. And indeed, this was the best news possible with Naomi. Now, I am certainly not the person who digs into every detail of someone's personal life, but in making betting picks, you occasionally run across something. So when I ran into an article with Naomi talking about hoping to have a kid and having a couple of surgeries in her past, making it very difficult, if not impossible, well, I just kind of put it in the back of my mind, thinking this might just be her one last final run, and if we might have to consider making it shortened a little bit in the near future, but this is the best way to shorten it, so I couldn't be happier for Naomi and also for Big Jim, as Naomi is certainly one of the best on the very roster, so congrats to these two. And we certainly look forward to having her back as soon as possible, which she announced on Raw that she is coming right back for that title when she returns. So it is so great to hear her in that final promo, going in and out of tears and right back into character. I don't know how she did it, but it was amazing, putting the entire locker room on notice. It is just a little bit of a weird feeling that we never got to see Naomi versus Bianca, even though they were technically in the same Elimination Chamber match. So, what do we have to do with this women's vacant title now? Well, I think it's pretty simple this time. We can actually just throw two #1 contenders into a match against each other, as of course Io was supposed to have a title match last week before Naomi was not medically cleared, and then Stephanie's also the #1 contender for a match at Clash in Paris, so I think it's never been easier to have two #1 contenders go one-on-one, but of course this is WWE, so we might get stuck with yet another battle royal to either determine who the #1 contender is to face Stephanie, or just do like we did with Becky last year and go straight to giving that person the title. But I don't know, I think we should keep this one simple and just have Io versus Stephanie. Alright, topic number 2, and that is summertime sadness. Well, I was on vacation last week, so I didn't watch SmackDown Live, and even though I was back on Saturday, I just couldn't motivate myself to watch right away, since everyone seemed to be trashing this week's SmackDown. So, of course, I then watched SmackDown, and TripleMania, and Unreal, and then Raw, pretty much back to back to back to back, on Sunday and Monday. So first, I see the complaints on SmackDown, but I didn't think it was that bad, but also it wasn't that great either. But I will start positive, saying the tag divisions are great. Starting with women, the Allies of Convenience have been on fire, so it was a fun follow-up with that birthday cake incident. And also for the men, coming off the ladder match, it is great to see their continued shine with getting 2 matches. So it was also good that we got some new blood with Mellow Don't Miz back into the mix, and it also looks like MFT may start to take a swing at those titles as well. And I think everyone just likes to complain about when the Miz does anything other than eat a pin, so I don't know, I disagree. I think this was a good call to get him a win right here, stealing it from Hayes. And if you're in the camp of wins not mattering, it was also just great to see Fraxium do their thing, and no, they didn't win, but they'll be just fine. So we have 2 pretty good tag matches there. But on the negative side, I did not like that we had an inconsequential supersized tag match to end the show. Pretty much my least favorite type of show ender, because that means simply nothing is going on. And then technically adding Sami Zayn to SmackDown is good for SmackDown, but his rationale for the move was absolutely cringeworthy. So I have to say, when he said feeling liberated, that harkened back to him being the Great Liberator several years ago, so just maybe he can turn somewhere down the road. But in general, I just think they need to do better here, so yeah, let's get Rhodes or Cena or Reigns or even Randy Orton back on the show, and it'll be right back to doing its thing. And speaking of Reigns, topic number 3, Roman repeat, as Reigns return on July 14th, right after Saturday night's main event and Evolution. So credit to him for showing up for 6 of the past 7 possible shows. and excluding his match at SummerSlam, he appeared on 5 Raws, and 4 of the 5 have been the exact same thing, as someone else has been in a match against the Vision, and then shenanigans ensue, and then everybody else that's available gets involved, particularly Punk, or Knight, or Zayn, or Jay, and then finally after everyone does make their run out, Reigns is finally the last one to make the save. And while he has been successful twice and has failed twice and lost his shoes, this is just getting a little bit old, because the one time he didn't do this, he had one of his best promos in a very long time, so WWE just do better and change things up a little bit. Alright, topic number 4, damage done, as Asuka keeps making good points here, since the Kabukis want to help Io, and Io keeps telling them not to help, and then Rhea does help. So we've now seen this a couple times, and it's becoming quite a trend now. So if you remember, when Asuka was injured, damage control had not yet changed, like Io made them change, so it makes more sense that Asuka is in that old attitude state of mind. So I guess this is a perfect holding pattern feud between the Kabuki Warriors and eventually Io and Rhea, but with Naomi now out, just how quickly are we going to have to rush both Io and Rhea getting back into the title picture? So, I don't know, I'm looking forward to it, and good on Kairi for that perfect look that she keeps giving. Topic number 4, Viking-Boo, and wow, what are we doing here, AAA fans? This dude is awesome with some amazing moves, including that 630 splash to retain the title. And he is supposed to be your top babyface, but he got completely booed out of the building. Guys, do you love Alberto El Patron, or Del Rio, that much? I mean, he has a pretty gnarly past. I don't think we really need to keep him around. And do you also think WWE is shoving him down your face? I don't know. I mean, I think they did the right thing here. Triple H even said they weren't here to take over their promotion, only to enhance what they do. And I think they proved it by letting Vikingo retain and by having Los Garza lose. But perhaps it's Dirty Dom, and he is just the king of the luchadors after all. So you are supposed to boo Dom after all, but I guess with a rematch already scheduled for Worlds Collide, I guess Dom is about to be a double champion. Alright, let's go to the winner of the week, and we'll stick with TripleMania and Omos. So how could it not be? His last WWE appearance was 498 days before TripleMania, when he lost in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on April 5th, 2024. And his last TV win was 838 days ago on May 1st, 2023, in a squash match against the immortal Anthony Alanis in 48 seconds. Though this one admittedly was just on YouTube, though of course we think that is better, don't we, YouTube algorithm? So let's go and help me out a little bit. Regardless, him tossing Microman is so viral that we can't even think of what the right number of views could be at this point, more than the 259 million figure that I googled and was able to find. So winning the Copa Bardal is just icing on the cake here, so here's the hoping he shows up on Raw and SmackDown. Alright, so our loser of the week has to be Natalya, because I'm just as confused by WWE's canon events following AAA as Demon Finn Balor was put on ice after his second straight loss, with his last match on April 2nd, 2023, losing to Edge at WrestleMania 39, and yet there was Demonito stealing the show by munching on La Yesca and then telling Balor to eat a burger. But then we got the low-key legend Natty making an appearance at AAA, which everyone has really been loving on the indies. So when she finally appeared at AAA, it looked like we might get her on Raw, only for Becky Lynch to spoke those fires by asking for Natty on X. But no, they shot that down, and we got standard Natalya for a title match, no less. What gives, guys? I assume the low-key legend will be back, but why not just do it right here? It's not like she's been doing much anyways. Alright, and lastly, let's go to our stats of the week. It has to be Naomi, since there won't be any Naomi stats for quite a while, and she has been a champion 5 times in her career, but only one of those 5 has now been a normal one. In fact, even though I can't prove it, I think she probably has the highest percentage of title vacations of any WWE superstar with at least 5 title reigns, as she had to vacate her first women's SmackDown title after just 8 days due to a knee injury, and then of course she vacated the women's tag titles with Sasha Banks when she walked out on May 16, 2022, and then of course last night under much better circumstances. And obviously we can't forget that she was only a tag champion with Bianca after she was the one to injure Jade. So, I don't know guys, I think right here we're just going to have to say that if Naomi is involved with the title, we all may just have to proceed with caution. Well, it looks like I did not beat the 10 count in my return, but it feels good to be back after a nice vacation with 2 ball games and a concert. And in that week, of course, Sami Zayn tried his best to mess up my WrestleMania 42 predictions by switching brands, but if you missed those predictions, we still have plenty of time, they're still good, so be sure to go right on over here and check that out. But for now, I am the SportsZu, and this has been Stop the 10 Count.